Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, so I know I said we were going to do class quests, but this is has a thing. Where am I right now? Oh, okay. So where's this? Oh. Sure. So this way. I always get lost. I don't know. I could play this game for a million years and still get lost. You want to know something? I was actually really excited to play this game today, and it's kind of funny because honestly I haven't played this game in, well, it's not that I haven't played this game, I should reiterate, I have not played this game like every day, you know, for a long time. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to, you know, get into my character and, you know, show it off some more and all this other stuffs. Alright, so we are heading right now to the Gladiator Guild to speak with Mila. Like I said, when you're doing story quests, you want to do so many story quests, then you want to go back to your class quests. Rinse and repeat. So, whenever you click on a quest, you can see what level it is. So right now, we're still on our level 1 quest, but then if we click on the story quest, we're on the level 6. So, kind of just try and keep a little bit of like an equilibrium there. So I'll catch up a little bit with my class quests and go from there. Because some skills you can only get from the class quests. So, welcome back, Sam. I take it that you dispatched the beasts, and with ease. Rest assured there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present you this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for gladiator in training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience that you should seek out and slay them. It's only with such practice that you'll recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Okay, and then it tells you your next quest will be available at level 5. So here's what she gave us. Hunting log obtained. So the hunting log is important because it essentially gives you this list of marked enemies, and these are basic enemies that you're going to find all over the place. And what you'll see is they'll have a very special, like, signet above them. To me it looks like a target, but like a sideways target, I don't know. But it's a sort of target above their head. It looks like a weird disc thingy. And if you kill so many of them, so this says I have to kill 3 ladybugs, I'll get 75 experience. Now, if I kill every single one of these monsters on this list, the reward obviously goes up. But if I kill every monster on this list, then I get a bonus reward of 2,500 experience. So, essentially, not only will we eventually need to start clearing this hunter log for other things, it's a good way to gain experience and to level up your class. So, it's extra XP. Can't really argue with that. Alright. Oh, Sam, I take it that you and your sword have become better acquainted. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator, commanding an opponent's attention. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help better understand this, there's a task I'd have you perform. It just so happens that Momodi of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Lominsan marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you're not afraid of them, and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Lominsans and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder." In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah as you would allies in battle. Okay, so this is an emote quest, and you'll run into those. But what she was talking about was the thing I mentioned before. So because I play as a tank, my job as a tank in battle is not to kill enemies. It is to distract them so that they're only hitting me. So I will have the highest defense, and because I have the highest defense, the enemies should be focused on me, the healer should be healing me, and the DPS should be taking out the enemies. That is essentially the way it works. So when she says the word enmity, what she means is aggro. And the way that we get aggro is by using Iron Will. We'll have that on. That automatically gives us more enmity. So essentially we're pulling more aggro because we have the tank stance on. And then we'll use an attack like, Total Eclipse, which will then hit every enemy in a certain radius. They'll then be drawn to me, and as long as I keep hitting them, then basically their eyes will just be on me, which means they're not attacking the DPS, they're not attacking the healer, they're only attacking me. So, that's essentially what she was talking about. I'm bad at tanking, but I know the basics of tanking. Like, I get the idea of tanking. I'm a longtime MMO player, and here's the thing. I guess the positions of what you're supposed to do, like, the job of tank, DPS, and healer does not change. Like, DPS is damage per second. Your job is to go in, kill monster, get out. Like, you're not supposed to be in the front, you're supposed to be, in the back, poking the monsters with a stick. The tank is supposed to be taking all the damage, and the healer is just making sure that nobody dies. But it's easier said than done. But this is a emote quest where we're gonna go up, click on the Marauders, and then use this emote, which does not look imposing at all, but supposedly it's supposed to scare away all these Marauders. The hell is your problem? Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be? Your bleeding lady in waiting? Bah, it doesn't matter. You've gone and spoiled the mood. So, I like that they've now added the emote. It used to be that you would just have to read this to figure out what emote you needed, and sometimes they wouldn't even tell you. It's better than the typing quests where you have to type whole sentences in chat and it looks silly, especially if you get it wrong. Your friend here's a 12 damn cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners, but he'll get his own back. Mark me words, blah 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 blah. I don't know nothing about it, dude. He's not my friend. I don't know him. I'm just here to say face me. Oh, come on. He was disrespecting me proud seed wolf heritage. Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished. Yeah, sure. Today I actually got in without having to wait, and I think that's kind of crazy. Considering the fact that usually I have to wait to log in, and today I didn't. Alright, where's this last one? He's gotta be somewhere. He's not back here, that's for sure. He's probably closer to the gate. Wink. Yep, there he is. The menacing marauder. What, are you blaming me because this little shite shat his own pants? Well, bugger him and bugger you too. Well, yeah, you could use your big toe and freaking squash him, poor Lalafell. So, if ever, I don't know if anybody's in the roleplay community or whatever, but I am, and I can tell you one of the biggest things that you're going to run into is hatred for Lalafell. The thing is Lalafell, they look like children, but the thing is they are full adults, alright? They're not meant to be infantilized in any way, despite their appearance. It's just how they are, it's just their race of people, okay? But they are fully grown and can have families and relationships, and they can do whatever the hell they want, really. But a lot of people hate Lalafells because they immediately go, okay, they look like kids, they're weird. But even if you're not a role player, you will find this ungodly hate against Lalafells, and I don't understand it. I really do not. I adore Lalafells, I think they're cute. I have a Lalafell, that I use just for funsies. But yeah. Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmer the Driven. And me and the bloody marauders been reaving so long, mothers scare their children with tales about us. Yeah, probably about your face. Don't believe me words? Then I'll let my axe do the talking. Fantastic. Oh ho, this is lively even for the quicksand. You two going to put on a show for us? Oh hey, Aldous. What's this? Another goddamn fool? Show some respect when you talk to... Farm Merle the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. Aye, I heard you fine the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Then unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... He's got a special sword, which means he's a special person. That sword, it couldn't be Frenzy, but only the sword of Nald would... Bloody hells, it's you! You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join in the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Runs away. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Leminson was quite brave of you, and quite foolish. I think I like you, gladiator. Name's Aldous. And I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you. Then I took an arrow to the knee. No, I'm just kidding. Back then but that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of as yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city. This wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now if you'll excuse me. I was about to say, I was like, you don't seek nothing. You're just a horny old man. He's not old, he's a Highlander, but... You know, if you show up with half a shirt on, and then you're like, ah, yes, I am the seeker up, dude, you ladies, you one of them. I swear if I hadn't seen Aldous with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Sam, do me a favor and don't tell Mila about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Alright, I'll go tell Mila. Hrothgal, what do you look like? Wow, you cute. Alright, off to tell Mila secrets and cause drama. BRB bestie. Not really. I'd probably listen. I'd be like, okay, I don't like drama. I don't need it. Don't need it right now. But yeah, I've done a lot of the I've done the entire Gladiator arc before and started on Paladin, but... Alright, I've already heard your exploits at the Quicksand, Sam. You did so well to send those Marauders packing. I wish I could have say we've heard the last of them. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of an axe-wielding raider assaulting merchants traveling through the Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Sam. Head to Western Thanalan and see that Farm Merle the Driven and all those who have shared his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Sure. Blah, blah, blah. What was I thinking about? Oh, I know I was gonna say something. Oh, yeah. So, all classes get an upgrade. Well, okay, that's a lie. They don't. All base classes get an upgrade. So, at a certain level, it used to be level 30. At class level 30, your base class will upgrade. But, if you use a skip or something, DLC classes like Red Mage, Machinist, Dancer, Samurai, whoa, the lady flew into me. If you have any of those DLC classes, they do not upgrade. Like, they don't do anything, they don't evolve. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. They don't evolve. But, if you have a base class, right? So, like, right now, I'm Gladiator. At class level 30, I will become a Paladin. So, Gladiator turns into Paladin, Marauder turns into Warrior, Lancer turns into Dragoon, Archer turns into Bard. Arcanist can either become a Summoner or a... oh crap. Is it Summoner and Scholar? Yeah, it can become Summoner or Scholar. What else is there? Pugilist can become Monk. And, there's another one. But don't ask me what it is right now, because I can't think of it. But you get the base idea. At skill level 30, you will get your job will become cooler. It's supposed to become cooler. Whether it feels cooler, I can't say. I don't know. Okay. So, you see how these have these little disc thingies now? They're like sideways targets that have a chunk taken out of them. This is how you know something's on your hunt log. So obviously all of these are on my hunt log. So if I kill them, if I kill the number needed, which is 3, then I will get experience. Which is totally fine. And it's like, yeah, and then you get that little message saying, look, you killed it! You get 180 XP for doing that. Congrats! The sooner you start the hunter log, generally the better, because a lot of the initial, you know, like little monsters aren't really worth anything. And a lot of the time, the monsters that you'll encounter or that you need for your hunter's log, they're ones that you're just gonna encounter in the wild. Occasionally, a monster in your hunter log will be dungeon exclusive, but not always. But there are a few. Same as there are some monsters that might be like event exclusive. So like fates, you gotta wait until a fate for them to show up proper, or at least in mass. That's not too bad either. Like I said, it's not really that big of a deal. So, it's just something to get used to, I suppose. Now, as far as DLC classes go, like I said, I really like Red Mage. Red Mage is, like, one of my favorite classes. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Sure. So Red Mage is definitely one of my favorites. I know a lot of my friends really like Dark Knight. I don't like to tank, so Dark Knight is not for me. I have an appreciation for Machinist, but one of the things that bugs me about Machinist is that it looks so cool, okay? Machinist has, like, this amazing, like, choreography for its attacks, and even its attacks in general. The whole concept of Machinist sounds amazing, but it is the weakest DPS, and it makes me so mad, because every time there's, like, a new expansion, I'm thinking, great, are they gonna buff Machinist? No, they don't like Machinist. They clearly hate Machinist. They're like, no thank you. Have the crappy DLC. We're gonna give you awesome robots, and we're gonna give you turrets and guns. But yeah, it sucks. All of it's bad. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's alright. I'll just cry in my corner over here. What other classes have I played? I played healer up to 50. I played white mage. So here's the thing about me that drives my friends nuts. And I'll just be honest. I tend to take to harder classes better than I take to easy classes. So my main character was a Lancer. And when I chose Lancer, all my friends were like, wow, you're insane. Lancer is kind of difficult. And I was like, oh well, I already chose it. Like, never mind. You know, I already chose it. I'm not going back now. And it's true that my combo, like, used to be 11 slots long. My main combo was like 11 buttons. I mean, they've shortened it. With the various expansions, they've knocked it down to maybe 8. I haven't really lost that many buttons. Ooh. I wonder if those people are role-playing. But yeah, I have not really lost that many. I was just seeing if I had any hunter stuff over here. Don't mind me. Nope. Okay, we good. We Gucci. But, But yeah, but for some odd reason, Dragoon is just easy for me. I'm like, okay, I get what I'm supposed to do with Dragoon. Dragoon is not bad. High DPS, lots of movement, flashy stuff. I like it, you know? But then when they're like, okay, well, you should learn Red Mage. The idea of learning Red Mage was terrifying when I first tried it. I was like, no, I can't do this. There's no way. But it turns out Red Mage is so freaking easy. It's almost like a dance. I don't even know how to explain it. Except that Red Mage is like a dance. It's like, it almost like rocks back and forth like a boat. It's like, jolt, ver arrow, jolt, ver thunder, jolt, ver arrow. And it's like, that's literally all you do. And then it only swaps up when you have to do like multiple enemies. And then it's like, then it's, arrow and then jolt. It's like backwards. But it's the same. They tore me from my saddle. Yeah. Here's your goods. 12 bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good women like you, I'd never leave home. Well, sure. Okay. Weird. But I'm glad I could help. Report to Mila. I will go do that. But yeah, so Red Mage is like a dance. Very simple. And then if the healer dies, you have resurrection and healing spells. So you can kind of like take over as a temporary healer while you get the healer back up and operational. So Red Mage is kind of multifunctional. I think some parties that have Red Mages rely way too much on Red Mages. But other than that, Red Mage is fantastic. Dragoon is also fantastic, but they are notoriously known as floor tanks. Because often their movement is not fast enough to get them out of the range of big boom attacks. And we die a lot. Now, I don't die because I'm a Dragoon. I die because I'm stupid. So don't smear the good name of Dragoon just because I'm an idiot. Good, it is finished, and with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time, your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponent you'll face in the future. Regardless, I have faith in you that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. And then there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, and we will speak again. Okay, so, as you might have already noticed, I bought some armor. Here's the thing, people playing the game will often hiss and, like, they'll be like, no. They'll be like, how dare you? Like, how dare you buy stuff when the game gives you armor for free? Here's the thing, I'm impatient. I am not going to wait around for people to give me armor or whatnot when I can just go buy it. I have the gil, and the gil is going to replace itself. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about spending the gil to get armor that's, there for my level, rather than wait and have inadequate armor while I'm doing quests. So, it's up to you. Do as you will. Play how you want. In the famous words of every Final Fantasy player that you are going to have a disagreement with, you don't pay my subscription. Right? I hate it when people say that, but it's so true though. You look well, Sam. I hope you're ready for your next task, because I require your immediate assistance. There have been several violent murders recently, the victims of which were all Hyuran men. Hyuran men means, like, just humans. Like, human-looking humans. Based on the multiple spear wounds found on the bodies of the deceased, we believe that Lancers are responsible for their crimes. Not only are these murders a blight upon our city, I fear it only a matter of time before one of our own is targeted. I have just received reports of foreign Lancers skulking about in Stone's Throw. Considering the circumstances, I find it likely that these are our culprits. We cannot abide by any more murders. Go to Stone's Throw outside the gate of Nald and speak with any you find in the area. With luck, we may find these Lancers before they strike again. Sure. Now, once I do this, I'm just going to go back to the story quests, because this is the level 10 quest, in which we'll get a little bit more story, I think. But, regardless. Oh man, the story's out this way too. Oh, that's right. It had to do with the pumpkins. I ate all that popcorn, and now I've got the hiccups. I'm trying to hold them back. Alright, Gutless Gladiator. Don't kill me, please. I'm not the one you want. I don't have to turn on my Iron Will, because they're just gonna go after me anyways, but it's always good to get in the habit of doing it. So that you know that if you're in a group of enemies, especially if there's an NPC you need to protect, you should probably just turn on your Iron Will. Thank you, thank you. They appeared out of nowhere and asked me if I was Aldous at Spear Point. I said no, but they attacked me anyways. What did I do to deserve this? I don't know. What did Aldous do? That might be the bigger question. I might as well get the fatty pieces of Ouroboron. Or Ouroboron. However you want to say it. Well, there's a fate going on, too. There's always something going on. Raglio. How am I supposed to fish with all these damn F's about? Alright, we might as well do this, because this is gonna get in— oh wait, it won't get in the way of my thing. Well, I guess it will now that I'm in the way. But this wasn't gonna get in my way. That kindly father tricked me into doing a fate. How dare he? I mean, I leveled up, so can't really complain too much, but... oh, now I'm too high a level to do the fate. Well, see, now I'm invested in the fate, so you kind of just... I'm not just gonna walk away, you know? I mean, I guess I could turn on my Iron Will and take on all of them, but we not gonna do that. Besides, this gives me a chance to get a whole bunch of, like, animal skins that I can sell. That's not so bad, I suppose. Come here, let me stab you. Please. But yeah, as far as, like, people telling you, like, oh, the missions will give you the armor that you need, yes and no. The missions give you a piece of armor. They often let you choose a piece of armor, but you're still responsible for buying the rest or finding the rest. Now, once you unlock dungeons, you can grind the same dungeon over and over and over and over again to get a whole set of armor. And that's kind of where you should stop buying armor unless you're just really being lazy. Because essentially you can just keep doing dungeons and get them, right? But I mean, other than that, yeah, other than that, like, these early stages, definitely just buy it. Like, literally just buy it. I don't see any harm in it. Like I said, you're gonna make that gil back. You know, and here's the thing. Fast travel costs gil. But fast travel does not cost a lot of gil. And if you make use of chocobo porters instead, which are essentially, they're not even a way to fast travel, quote unquote, they're lazy travel. So what you can do is, in towns, if on your little mini map, you'll see this thing, it's called a porter, right? If you click on this guy, the chocobo keep, you can either rent a chocobo, which will let you take control of the chocobo, or you can get a chocobo porter. Now, if you hire a chocobo porter, it'll take you to a town that you have been to before, or not. Sometimes it has a preset town. And it'll literally say, hey, it's gonna take 1 minute to get there, and we're charging you 5 gil. No, it is not a way of quote-unquote fast travel, but you can go get your drink, use the bathroom, do whatever you gotta do while you are waiting to go to this town. It is cheaper than Ethernet travel, and it saves your fingers a little bit. So there are ways of cheaper travel, and I highly suggest you utilize them. But that's just my 2 cents, you know, as a vet. So they were indeed the murderers we sought. But what brought Duskwhite freelancers all the way from the Black Shroud? And why were they murdering Hyaran men with swords? Blah, 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 blah. First sword. What is it? Lancers for sword. A gang of them hiding in the tunnel south of Blackbrush Station. Huh, seems we're not rid of them yet. Sam, you might as well finish what you started. Go to Central Thanalan and dispatch the last of these freelancers. Blah, 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 blah. Bruce, accompany Sam. See that she doesn't die. Well, I can't keep the last from getting skewered, but I'll patch her up best I can. Sam, defend Bruce. He knows powerful healing magics, but he cannot employ them unless you keep all your enemies occupied. Make sure you command their full attention at all times. Okay. I am counting on you to keep those bastards away from me. Watch my back and I'll watch yours. Sure. Alright, you have your orders, gladiators. Send these freelances to the 7th gate. Okay. So essentially, her instruction is that he's a healer, and I need to act like tank. Which is fine. So this is going to be one of those things where you want to use your Iron Will, or whatever the tank stance is. The tank stance is going to differ. Like, obviously, it's not going to be the same if you're playing a warrior, like a marauder. So for Gladiator, it's called Iron Will. For Marauder, it's called something else. I don't know what it is. And even their symbol is going to be different. So, but, you know, essentially they'll introduce it the same way. They'll be like, hey, this keeps enemies' attention on you. You know, stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I know that Warrior is essentially best for just offensive and defensive and self-healing as far as tanks go. I've seen people solo some crazy stuff as a warrior class. Like, warriors are OP as frick. And, like, I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I literally have people in my FC, well, they used to be in my FC, and I've watched them solo some crazy stuff. But for that reason, warrior seems like so daunting to me as a class. And I know it probably shouldn't be that way, it feels that way. So, I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be our little, instanced thing. And it'd be like, oh my gosh, you're about to head into an instance. Do you want to go to do the thing called Uldah's Most Wanted? Yeah, I do. It'll be fine. Alright, so activate Iron Will. Pull these guys' attention off of Bruce and onto me. So, what I did just there, where I activated my tank stance, and I literally ran behind these guys to make them turn and look at me instead, that is called kiting. So if someone's like, kite the boss, essentially you're gonna get their attention, you're gonna go and move them where you want to move them. And you're essentially leading them away from the healer and everybody else, and you're leading them to a very specific area in the arena, and that is called kiting. I didn't know this until, I think, last year. Oh, okay. Nah, you're supposed to be looking at me, dude. But yeah, so, I don't know. I could just shield blob him and interrupt his action, but because I can literally just move out of the way, it doesn't matter. So obviously, orange means bad. Like, if you see orange stripe or orange cone or orange whatever, get out of the way. Orange is bad. Orange is bad unless it's good, and you'll see examples of that probably later. Looks like we're done here. Let's head home, Sam. I could use a drink. Sure. Now, because I just have to go to Uldah, I'm just going to use return. You can attune to an Aetheryte to set as your quote-unquote home destination. It'll return you to that home destination free of charge. You just have to wait 900 seconds before you can use it again. But, again, that is something that you can also use to your advantage as far as fast travel goes. So if you're feeling way too lazy to walk, just be like, I'll just teleport, and yeah. But again, use it sparingly, because again, you're not going to be able to use it for another 900 seconds. And I don't even know how many minutes that is. Congratulations on a job well done, Sam. Bruce says you've acquitted yourself well. You've shown tremendous growth since you joined us, and though it pains me to do this, you've earned the right. Sam, I grant you leave to join other guilds. As you doubtless know, Ul'dah is home to both the Pugilist Guild and the Thaumaturgist Guild. However, there are also guilds where you may learn something of a more peaceful tradition. You may even join guilds of other nations if that is your desire. Know that I will respect your decisions, whatever they may be. So long as you do not forget that you are above all a gladiator. Before you head off, I wanted to ask you, Bruce believes the freelancers were out for a bounty. What is your opinion of this? So, I could say their motives died with them, but I'm just gonna be honest. It's like they were tracking a man named Aldous. Aldous, are you certain that is the name you heard? He's alive? But how? Okay, I don't know. Don't care. Ooh, hemp bracers. I think I already bought those, though. I did. So I'll just take the bronze piece. Armory unlocked. Thanks. Okay, so, nice. I no longer have oven mitts. We have upgraded for now. So essentially what she's saying is I can now learn other professions. So like I said, you can learn any class in the game. And so you just have to get to the level 10 quest in your class quest. They at least want you to level up to level 10 to try out your class. If you're not liking it for some reason, if it's not clicking with you, if you don't understand it, whatever the case may be, the game then says, don't make a new character, you know, just kind of struggle with what you got for a minute, and then we'll open up everything else to you. So, like right now, I could go to the Thaumaturgist Guild, which is Black Mage, essentially. I could go there, and I could pick that up, but I don't want to, because I'm not a masochist, and I don't like that class. Or I could go to the Pugilist Guild, which is right here, and see how now there's a blue quest mark. It says, so you want to be a pugilist. I could become a pugilist right now. Am I going to? No. Because I promised my friend Marissa that I would suffer as a tank. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go back to all this deal about pumpkins. So we're gonna head back to the Gate of Nald, Central Thanalan. And we're gonna go over here to the quest marker to do more of the story stuffs. So, but yeah, I think I have an appreciation for many classes, but there are some classes I just don't know anything about. I would love to learn Samurai, because I heard Samurai, like, DPS is ridiculous, but it seems very complicated. If Cicidoa doesn't come calling soon, this spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Well, here's the receipt of purchase for a pumpkin. Oh, so you're to deliver this decadent delight? I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here is the pumpkin. I hope it meets the Rogers' approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as always, we are always deluged with demand. You know the way to the Coffer and Coffin, correct? It's beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for a place where the local laborers lounge. He's doing that on purpose. He's literally using words that all sound alike to get people tongue-tied, and I do not appreciate it. Because I do get all messed up with my wordage. Okay, my wordage is not good. That's why I'm chronically online. Because then the computer can correct everything for me. I'm kidding. It was a bad joke, but a joke nonetheless. I think there are some Spriggans down here that I can destroy. And usually they're on the hunter log. Yes. Ugh. So there is fall damage in this game. But you recover from it pretty quickly as long as you don't get into a fight right away. Crap. Says me as I get into a fight right away. Literally me. Not, you know, trying to give advice. Literally me, not following advice. What else is new? Spriggans are interesting creatures. I don't understand what they're supposed to be. I've never really looked into them before. All I know is that they're obsessed. They're kind of like, in a way, they're like kobolds. Because they like, I guess they like rocks and shinies. I don't know. They obviously have an obsession with rocks. That I know. I also know they're very shy, and they, like, run away from things. Okay, so I leveled up. Cool. Ooh, I learned low blow. Stuns a target. Well, okay, well, that's fine. That goes over there. That goes over there in my bar. Okay. We're now level 12. So like I said, hunting log. Hunting log is friend. Never forget. But as far as, like, tutorials, like, obviously take anything I say with a grain of salt. There are people that'll tell you differently, okay? Everybody plays games their own way. And I'm no different. Some people hate the way I play games, and that's fine. You know, it works for me, and if it works for me, then, you know, that's all that matters. So if I'm like, hey, go here, do this, remember to do this. Like I said, you do you, boo-boo. You explore this land and do as you please, as long as you're not hurting nobody. This is just a side quest, so this guy wanted fish, and I gave him the Orberon. Now he's gonna tell me to go get shrew meat out of a barrel. And I hate that I remember that too. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go to that barrel. Drink for you, lassie. You won't get any better ale or spirits for your coin than at my place. No, I came to deliver a pumpkin. What's this? Wee Sisidoa asked you to bring this to me here. So even that foul-mouthed drunk knows the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried his drunk, sodden butt back home. But hell's an honest-to-God's pumpkin from the royal plantations. I can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoff down beastly amounts of meat, and it's starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies, assuming I can get stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for your help. Well, you're welcome. Ooh, I got a meal. Okay, so... different items obviously do different things. As you can see, I added a couple things to my bar. I added a motorcycle, which is a mount that I got from doing the, oh gosh, I got it as a gift. I got it as a gift from a friend. And it actually has, like, bonus speed. So I use it because it's faster than other mounts. And then I've got my duty finder, which will help me queue for dungeons without having to go through all the menus. I've got my hunter log. Really, I just put essentials on here. And then I got my potions up here, but what I like to put in this second spot is I like to put the meals. So, as you can see, Marmot Steak, it gives me skill speed, plus 8%, vitality plus 1, and direct hit rate. It also gives me an experience bonus of 3% for 30 minutes. Your inventory will eventually be full of food. You should always eat before, you know, when you're in a dungeon to get the well-fed effect, and it'll give you more experience. You can eat outside of that, I just tend not to. Alright, word is, Blackbrush Station is sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Alright, so... he essentially wants us to go over here to Blackbrush Station. We're gonna go ahead and deal with this shrew in a barrel. And kill a few antlings since they're on our list. Barrel trap. I'm kind of sad that no trains actually come through here. Again, I feel like it's a moment where they could have added it in, and it's just very underutilized. But then again, I see a bunch of people, like, standing in front of the train, seeing if they can get hit, because that's totally something I would do. And if it didn't hurt their character, it would just be weird just to see a bunch of people standing around on train tracks. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to keep people from using the train for some dark or twisted roleplay. I don't know. You never know. You never know what's going through their heads. Alright, I got his shrew in a barrel. And I got all my antlings too. That gave me a nice little 980 experience. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Schnazzy. Here's your meat. Alright, so now we're finished with that. Now we're gonna head to Blackbrush Station. And the first thing that you'll probably notice is that it has an aetheryte. So because it has an aetheryte, we're gonna do what we did before. We are going to attune to it. So attuning to it will then unlock a skill that's called teleport. So right now you see that my teleport is all grayed out. It is because I have never attuned to another aetheryte. The minute I attune to another aetheryte, I now have a place that I can teleport to for a fee. And that'll unlock my teleport spell. Yep, teleport learned. Also, you'll notice this little thing right here. It doesn't show up on the actual map if you look at the mini-map. The little symbol doesn't appear. But this essentially means that there's a chocobo porter and you have not unlocked it yet. So if you talk to the guy, he'll be like, oh, are you interested in a porter? And then you just have to press nothing whenever the box shows up. But now you have this porter unlocked. There is an achievement for unlocking every porter in Eorzea. So just make sure when you see them to unlock them. It's no harm in it, really. Hey, Warren, what's up? Looking for work perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches are sellswords by hire. We're hired by Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. Oh. Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it's for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work and liable to get messier still if you're ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it sit on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you're ready, present yourself to me again. So, yeah, this dude is literally just here to make sure that you have a head, body, hands, and legs and feet gear with level 5 or higher. So this is kind of like your warning of, hey, as you progress through quests, you need to have higher armor. Make sure you are buying better armor. Because the quests will get harder and you need to have gear that can keep up. They only do this, like, once, like, in the tutorial. So it's like, and it's mandatory in every story. So, like, it doesn't matter if you start in Limsa, it doesn't matter if you start in Gridania. Like, you're gonna have an NPC that's gonna make sure you're fully geared, and you cannot proceed until you have the gear necessary. Which is nice, because it doesn't let new people continue unprepared. And it's like, alright, so you're ready for my inspection? Yes. Good, everything appears to be in order. Yet know that naught is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far in between. I would not have you throw your life away. I've had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dints in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. And then, I don't need any of this, so I'm just going to take the money. So, one thing I'll say about gear is that gear does have a durability. Okay, right now my condition is 98% for most of my gear, 98 and 99. When you hover over a piece of gear, the condition will be down below, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. In every town, there's going to be a merchant, and usually it's a merchant and mender. And going up to them, you can literally ask them to repair your gear. He'll show you what the condition of all your gear is, and how much it'll cost to fix it, and there is a repair all option. Obviously, our gear's fine, but you don't want your gear to get too low. And the game is nice enough that if your gear does get low, it'll tell you. It'll say, hey, one or more of your pieces of gear appears to be broken or breaking. Like, please get it fixed. So, it's not too bad. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through this station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesca's watch, a tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question you'll find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use the silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures and slay them. Sure. And then, this guy has a quest for us. It's just a little fetch quest. Now, the items that some of these fetch quests are giving us are crystals. These crystals, when you click I for your inventory or open it up however you want, there's a little tab in the back that looks like a diamond, and if you click on it, you'll see all these different crystals with all these different elements. So like fire shard, ice shard, wind shard. So essentially that's what he's giving us for one of the fetch quests. These are used for crafting. If you're not going into any crafting profession, you don't really have to worry about it too much. But if you are, then you will need those. You will need all the various shards to do all your crafting work. You will be able to farm for those shards by gathering, in a gathering profession. But, I don't know, if it seems like you get useless items sometimes, I mean, they're useless to certain classes or even certain, you know, play styles, but they're not technically useless. They're just useless for what you may be currently doing. And if this seems like a lot, I apologize. It probably is. I know that when I first started, I had so many questions, and I was just constantly asking, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? So I get it. If I say something and you're just like, okay, what does that even mean? Feel free to leave it in the comments. I will explain it as best I can. Like I said, community is generally really helpful, so you could ask anybody as you're playing. It's good that you have questions, because trust me, if you didn't have any questions and you were able to play this game without questions, I don't think the game would be good. If it was just that easy just to figure everything out, you'd probably get bored in a second. Curiosity and questions is kind of what keeps people going sometimes, you know? We killed your goblins, sir. Well done. It shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagons should be able to go unmolested for a time. Oh no, they're molesting the wagons. Disruptions to ore shipments threaten not only the interest of Amagina and Sons' mineral concern, but of Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. But sir, they're dry. There's no trains. If only we had more women like you to lend a hand. Sure. Alright, I don't need this sword because I already have one that's stronger, so I'm just gonna take the mud. I leveled up again. This is another fetch quest. Alright, what do you got for me, Zuzumeda? Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? I don't think I have a choice. Rumor has it that there's a vast untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Sildee. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence, and even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Wyston, and he's a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his new fortune to curry favor with the Sacrarium. I don't know what that means. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the option, thaumaturges. Okay, so he's trying to get in with the black mages. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice, which is invariably heard, belongs to Lord Lolorito. Fuck that guy. He has a long, lavish gill upon the thaumaturges, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Wyston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he's in for a rude awakening, but that eventually may be yet a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffer and Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet with Wyston and volunteer for his expedition. That was really word-mouthy, so essentially it just means, hey, this dude could possibly become rich, and if he's rich enough, he'll be able to make laws. And he's looking for people to escort his prospectors so that maybe he can get rich and make laws. Also, Lord Lolorito is a scheming billionaire that basically just does whatever he wants and nobody stops him. So essentially it's kind of like what we're living in right now in America. Good times. I'm gonna kill these hammer beasts because I can. All these fates. I don't want all these fates. I just want to kill these hammerbeaks. I want to kill these hammerbeaks and then finish this section so that I can go to bed. It is really weird only playing like an hour or two at a time, because usually back when I was playing this game like hardcore, I would just binge it. We're talking like 4 to 7 hours just binging this game. Now I play like a couple hours and I'm like, that's good. I think it's time for bed. Like, I'll just pick it up tomorrow. It's fine. Slay hammerbeaks to obtain their ribs. I bet hammerbeak ribs with the right barbecue sauce, it'd be pretty tasty. Not gonna lie. Hi, Wyston. Come to join? Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteered, and the team's already en route to the ruins. But look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There are these children outside, little ones from Stone's Throw. I look after them when I've time to spare, and so they've taken to following me around, even when I tell them not to. But what with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give them these ginger cookies and convince them to go home for me? I guess so. Do I know you? This guy looks familiar. Okay, anyways. Starveling child. I ain't going nowhere, missus. I'm too hungry to move. Besides, you'll have to carry me. Maybe not. A cookie? Well, if Wyston really wants me to go home, then alright, but I want 2 next time. Sure. Ginger cookies are good, not gonna lie. I like playing with Wyston. He makes sure no one bullies us. Have a cookie, child. Wyston's worried about us? Oh, I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. Good on you, child. Hello, child that looks the same as an adult. But Wyston always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Wow, a ginger cookie. I better save some for my brother. I know, I'll go home and eat it with him. Wyston's kind to us. I like him. Have a cookie. This is for me? I want to eat it, but then again, I don't, because then it'd be gone. Dude, I get that sentiment so much. Tell Wyston thanks, and tell him I'm sorry for getting in the way. Oh, you weren't getting in the way, kid. You were just wanting to play, that's all. Alright, Wyston, I did the deed. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Stone's Throw is no place for a child. Not that my childhood was much happier. Never enough food to go around, nor work to earn it, but no shortage of contempt from the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better, yet now, after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. They say with enough money you can change the laws here. So I'm hoping to make a fortune and do just that. I'll buy the excavation rights and start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for, and pay them fairly. The mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long, but in their hubris they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. And we will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity, and with it our place within those walls. We found her. We found the vein. Wyston, you must come and see. Already? Amazing. We leave at once. I don't trust this for some reason. You should join me, friend. Come and bear witness to history in the making. I don't trust it. I don't like it. Sorry, I don't have time for fate. Oh, I might have time for fates. Oh, because I need these Kierans. I say Kierans, but they're like called Kikiern. Or, yeah, Kikiern or whatever, but I call them Kierans. Listen, I don't have time to get it right, okay? They're Kierans, even though they're not actually Kierans. They look like shrews. Shrew moles. There we go. Okay. Fate complete. On to the next thing. Down where we were before with the Spriggans. I wonder what could happen. I wonder if it's a trap. I wonder, since the brass blades are so corrupt, if maybe they're trying to take the vein for themselves. Uh-oh. Balls, balls, son. A vein of ore in the middle of a ruined, bloody city? Goddamn idiot. What did you think was gonna happen? That you'd strike it rich and get cozy with the Order while the Masters of Ul'dah looked on? No one crosses the Syndicate. The Syndicate? Huh, finally sunk in, has it? Well, look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you, it seems. Lucky boy. Now you won't have to die alone. Ooh. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. Who's that spouting gibberish? Show yourself. Oh. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody else, does Lord Lolorito mean to kill us too? Crazy. Lolorito had to do with that? That's almost like he's a shitty guy. Alright, so we are fighting this golem. Usually the golem is being commanded by the villains. I think Ul'dah, you are strong, but are you strong enough to withstand this? I think this is one of the few times where the golem is not being commanded by the villains. So, no matter where you are or what you're doing, you fight a golem. Impossible, never has the golem been so sorely tested. No matter what you do, you fight a golem. But usually it's being commanded by like a third party. In this instance, it's not being commanded by a third party, it's actually being commanded by a masked man. So there's that. That the golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. And she's like, who dat? And then he's gone. It's weird because I don't want to give too much away, obviously. But, like, part of me is just like, Oh, hey, Thancred. Damn, seems I've missed all the fun. Yeah, you did, Thancred. I see you didn't need my help this time. I didn't need your help last time. Uh-oh. My character has a headache. She needs some ibuprofen. Thancred, you player. I would compose a ballad in your honor, but I fear no words would do you justice. The songstress of Ul'dah herself could not rival your beauty. Oh, stop it. I have oft heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. I hear they attacked another caravan. Aye, and business is suffering for it, bloody Amalja. What stirred 'em up to do that, you reckon? Another raid, and I'll wager that caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last one. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Are you coming, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. So tell me, where in this marvel of a city might you lovely ladies be staying? You man-ho. You player. You big pimpin'. He's like, oh yeah, they might summon a primal, but... But Thancred, I don't blame you. 'Cause, like, same, though. At this rate, grain will soon be more precious than gold. A result of the uncommonly bad harvest, to be sure. And we have you to thank for them, do we not? Aye, this weakening of the etheric flow must surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. Oh, so this is like past. And of course, to the primals. A fine mess, but we must not lose hope. Louisoix will know what to do. We need only trust in his judgment. Yeah, so this is a vision of 5 years ago, before the calamity. Also, that thing on your face looks ridiculous, Thancred. Truly a marvel of Charlian ingenuity. It's as if I could reach out and touch the aether. Okay. Time to focus. No more gallivanting about like before. The Scions are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. This disturbance is recent. The Sultan tree? Maybe Papashan will know something of it. Okay, so the first vision was from 5 years ago before the calamity hit. This last vision was right before he found us when we fought the demon at the Sultan tree. Looks like they gave you quite a thrashing. Can you walk? It's me. I was too late. Our person of interest has already quit the scene. The general? Very well. I shall be there anon. My colleagues went to great lengths to provide me with the means to detect etheric disturbances, but every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler to just follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. Tread softly, my friend. The carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lolorito. I heard the Blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you that he is not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have the support of outside forces. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, those bastards would surely have slaughtered us all. Blah, 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 blah. I would speak with you further, but it's not safe for us to linger here. Find me at the Coffer and Coffin later. Until then, stay safe. I shall accompany Wyston and his men. They need protection, and I need more information. But where are my manners? I've yet to properly introduce myself. I am Thancred, a humble scholar surveying the flow of aether in Thanalan. It is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope when next we meet it is under more auspicious circumstances. Farewell. Okay. Wait a moment. It occurs to me that we may have... Never mind. Fare thee well. Okay. Okay, so that is where I'm going to end this episode. But anyways, so leave a like if you like the series and if you want to see more. I mean, I do plan on playing it for a while. I was about to say, if you want to talk about any questions that you have about Final Fantasy XIV that I can answer, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Or if you just want to talk about your characters, where you started, your favorite classes, whatever, just be mindful of spoilers. I'm trying not to spoil anything, so just be mindful of that as well. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Alright. Ciao, you guys.